Hello, everyone. It is I, Chastity White Rose, and I'm doing another recording using OBS. And today I want to try something. I want to show some Tetris openings, some very good Tetris openings. But so first, what I'm going to do here, I am running Ubuntu Linux. Is what I'm doing here. This is Linux, and I have a great background. I don't remember where I got it, but let me go to Steam, because Steam runs on Ubuntu Linux. I kid you not. Steam actually runs on Ubuntu Linux, and some of the official Tetris games actually run on Ubuntu Linux, believe it or not. The Windows emulation has gotten that powerful that you can run Windows games on Linux very successfully, if you have Ubuntu at least. But one of the Tetris games on Steam is my own Tetris game here. I made my own game. I've mentioned it before, but I want to promote the heck out of this because I am serious about this. Um, I get emails from curators asking for Steam keys so they can test my game and stream it on their videos on Twitch or whatever they do, but I don't get anybody ever actually buying it. And let me make sure, yes, I am recording. I am definitely recording. So I want to just show you my game here for a second here. I'm going to show you, and when you try to launch the game, it has several different options. It has Play Chaste Tris, it has the Long Boy mode, and it has the T-Blocks mode. So we're going to go to play here, and it's going to take a little while just to launch the game, but you're going to see what it does here. So let's see here. It should start running here. But it takes longer on Linux than it does Windows just to get started, just because of the fact that, it is doing Windows emulation. Now, let's see here. Okay, I turned the music off. It is possible to turn the music on and off, okay? So that's what I did. And what you'll notice here is, okay, and I pressed I to save the game. Now, what you'll notice with my Tetris game here is, yeah, it basically loads the music at the beginning. This is what it does, okay? It's using Raylib version 4.0 is what it's using, and it detects the display size and the size of the window and all the. It actually uses OpenGL. Now I don't write the OpenGL. That is all done by Raylib. Raylib does the OpenGL for me. Raylib is really easy to use. I highly recommend it. Shout out to Ray, the guy who made Raylib. And it loads the textures and it loads shaders that I didn't write. It does everything. Um, so, and then I have my own font library. Like, so it loads all the stuff. It loads the fonts, it loads the music, it sets everything up. That's what it does. So at the start of the game, and so here's what we have. The M key turns on or off the music. I turn the music off so you can hear me do this video. Now, what I'm going to show you here is look at this. See, I saved the game, and then I can reload the game here, okay? So yeah, so I can do crazy stuff. So that's what's cool about it. Like my game allows saving and reloading. So if I press the I key, it says state 0 saved. So let's say if I put this in a spot I don't want it to be, I just press P and it goes back to the way it was. And there are multiple save states. So like let's say if I press okay, I'm going to press 1 and then save the state here, and then I'm going to press 2 and save the state here. And then check this out. See, I can switch between the save states 1 and 2. I can totally do that. And you can see the moves number, which is the count of key presses basically, changes. Now if I go to state 3 and try to press P to load it, it says state 3 has not been saved yet. Nothing to load. I made save states an integral feature of my game. My game is special in that way, in that it lets you do that. It lets you save and reload up to 10 different save states at any given time. And the star animation that I put here, the spinning star, I just did that to be extra fancy. I was just trying to be fancy doing that, as well as the checkerboard. It's just for show off because it shows my programming skills. So this is my own game I made. It's on Steam. You can buy it for $5. I want to do my advertisement here. So, but I'm not just doing an advertisement for my own game. I'm actually doing something a little bit more. I'm showing you, see this opening, this is way, it's actually very effective. Now, this works in my own game, but it also works in standard Tetris games, and I'm going to prove that to you later. Now, this is the opening right here. So, this is the opening that you want to do. Now, this is the standard and the fastest way to get a mechanical T-spin double factory started. Now, the mechanical TSD or T-spin double, also called the T-spin factory by some people, is one of the highest, if not the highest, damage output that is possible in modern Tetris games. It's extremely efficient in versus mode. It's also really high scoring, so it's because T-spin doubles score extremely high. It's high scoring, but it's especially fatal to your opponents in versus mode. Now, I want to show you exactly how this works. So here, okay, here's what's fun. I can do a T-spin double with this T block here. I can totally do that. But instead I'm going to press C and I'm going to hold it. Yeah, see, I held that block there. Actually, let me see something. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was just testing something. Yeah. Yeah, cuz all right. So anyway, I'm going to show you one of the things that makes the mechanical T-spin so deadly. I'm going to show you really quickly why it's exceptionally powerful. Right here. This, see how I'm setting up two T-spin doubles? This is possible. Now, keep in mind, in my own Tetris game, the pieces always come. Each bag comes in the exact same order. Now, that was done because it was easy for me to code, and I've kept it in the same order. I made several different versions of this game. This is the original Raylib version that I'm showing you, the one that I published on Steam. But I kept the piece order in all my games because randomized pieces, if you want that, play an official Tetris game. If you want something that is more predictable, something that can be scripted, something that allows move logs are a feature that I've covered in other videos. I won't get into all that here. But look at this. We have this T block. What we do is we move it down here, spin it, and then press down. Because there's no gravity. It only goes down if I press down. So you see that? Score is 1200, and the back-to-back went from 0 to 1. Because my game keeps track of back-to-backs. That's what it does. So, but now, look at this. I set that up. Now, I just did 2 T-spin doubles with consecutive T blocks. Now, my game doesn't keep track of combos. There wasn't much point to it. I've thought about it, but I figured why add several kilobytes of code, or maybe just 1 kilobyte of code, to keep track of all the scoring with the combos. That's not really a big deal to me, but combos count in official versus Tetris games. They really, really count. So as you see, it's very easy to set up. It's not at all hard to do that with the 2 T-spin doubles. Now, here's the thing. Now, this T-spin double method, that opening that I showed you here, it's nice, but there is one little problem with it. Notice how there's this hole here. I don't like that hole either. I really don't like that particular hole. So it's kind of crazy. Although it's a very efficient way to start a mech TSD, I highly recommend it in a lot of cases. There are 2 ways that are even better to start a mech TSD. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out my game here. And what I want to do here is I could show you my game the whole time, but what I really want to do is I want to show you in real-time action how this actually works, because my game doesn't represent the way regular Tetris game works. Though the other Tetris games are fast-paced, they're very, very different. So what I'm gonna do, how interesting! I just noticed something. I just noticed this image over here. I'm trying to figure out if that, I don't remember what opening I was doing there. That's weird. So here's what I'm going to do. Now, I want to choose which Tetris game. I have Tetris Effect connected. I have Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 and 2, and they all work on Linux. But which do I want to use? I think I'm going to go with the original Puyo Puyo Tetris. And the reason I want to do this is because it probably uses the least resources, so it's less likely to mess up my recording. Now, when I start this game, it's probably going to have music, and I will have to turn the music off, is what I'm going to do. So just bear with me for a second, because I want to get this all in a single video. So, it's going to slowly load up the Windows emulation, and it's going to start Puyo Puyo Tetris. There are 3 really good ways to start a mechanical T-spin double technique. There's 3 really good ways. And I want to show you.
Sega!
Whoa!
Tetris!
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. I hope that this is recording. If not,
Puyo Puyo Tetris!
okay. So, I need to turn off the sound effects, the voice, and the background music. I need to turn all the sound off. Because otherwise, if I don't, then you won't be able to hear me explain what I'm doing here. So, what we're going to do is I need to start a game, okay? I need to start a game, and there's many different ways. So let's just go to plain adventure mode. Adventure mode, I believe I've completed adventure mode, or at least most of it. So let's go to, okay, let's go to one of the, okay, I want to show a real example. I want to show a Tetris versus Tetris example. Okay? Act 1, I want Tetris versus Tetris. Now, check this out. This is level 1-5 of the first world of adventure mode. I'm going to show you all 3 methods of doing the mechanical T-spin double. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to show you all 3 methods and how they work. You'll be amazed by this. Let's skip past the dialogue. And then, let's see. It's not hard to 3-star this. Now, check this out. Okay, I want to show you, check this out. This one is one of the coolest things. So check this out. First, a T-spin single. And then, haha, check this out. Yeah, T-spin double, T-spin single. Oh yeah. Oh, you see that? Oh yeah. See, I didn't even get to pull off the final T-spin double there because the opponent was defeated that quickly. That, what you just witnessed, is my absolute favorite way to defeat an opponent. It's very cool because it has the T-spin singles and it has the T-spin doubles, and it's just really, really, really cool. Now that method works, but it requires that you get the O block, the yellow block, to put in the bottom right corner. You have to get it either before the green or before the T block. It's very, very strange. So what happens if you just don't get the right piece set up? Well, let's try this again a few more times. Let's try a different way. I'm going to show you my second favorite way. So check this out. This here is my second favorite way to do this, and you're about to see why. Okay, so there's one. Here's this. They're not gonna get past this. Ho ho ho! You see that? Check this out. Haha! Fun, isn't it? Ho ho! This is just the most incredible method. Check this out. T-spin. T-spin. Oh yeah. Did you see that? Did you see that? Okay. The reason that's my second favorite method is because it's not doesn't have the T-spin singles. It's not quite as fancy as the first method I showed you. But it has a perfectly clean stack. It doesn't have any gaps on the bottom left side like what the one that I first showed you when I was playing my own game. It doesn't have that gap, which means it's easier to lower the stack. But I'm going to show you the third method. The third method is the one I already showed you when I was playing my own game. When I was playing Chaste Tris, I already showed you this method. Now check this out. I'm doing that method right here. I'm setting it up. Yeah, you see this? Oh ho ho! Check it out. T-spin. T-spin. Ho ho ho! It's extremely easy to set up these T-spin combos like this. That's what's so amazing about it. So check that out. Sure, the stack may get higher a little bit as I am sent garbage by my opponent, but the point of this method is that the idea is just basically to KO your opponent before they KO you. It scores exceptionally high. Look at the score difference there. So I just pulled off all three methods perfectly with no errors whatsoever. I didn't have to do any retries. So I showed you my number one favorite, which has the T-spin singles. It's really fancy. It's actually the single U opening. And then I showed you the other method, which is just a random method that I saw in a video. But then I showed you the other one, which is the original one. Now, the one that I just showed you just now, that one is, if you go to the Hard Drop Wiki, it will explain the mechanical T-spin double. Now, here's the thing, though. That may have gone a little bit fast. Okay, it may have gone just a little bit too fast for people. So I'm going to just see if I can do a slower example. Now, I'm going to go to Solo Arcade because when you're doing solo, you don't have to worry about being sent garbage by an opponent. You just don't have to worry about that. So let's go to Sprint. Now, you can follow along all the three methods of mechanical T-spin double that I just showed. You can totally follow those. But there's different pros and cons. The third one, the one that I most recently showed you, the pro of that is it's a lot faster to get started doing the T-spin doubles because you only have to spend 1 T, waste 1 T. But then I mean, they're all really good. They're all really good. So the bottom line is use whatever suits the pieces that you're getting. That's my basic advice. Okay. Now this one is a little bit interesting. Yeah, what do I do about this? Now, see, this is one of those times. Yeah, this is just one of those times where it doesn't look like there are any really good methods here. It just doesn't look like there's any really good setups. And this is the first time when I try to show you this, it just doesn't, yeah, it just doesn't seem right. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. I'm totally gonna try something. Okay, notice I put that flat like that. Actually, I kind of wish I had done that different. I totally wish I had done that different. But here's what you're gonna notice. Is even though things got a bit weird, and I made a really ugly gap there. Yeah, I made a horrible gap there. That was stupid. But look at this. Even with that, I still got something very basic started. Now this is interesting. See this? The T-spin double is not complete. It's a T-spin single, but it's still possible. It's still totally possible to clean up the stack a little bit. So sometimes things don't go right at the beginning, but don't give up. The main thing about Tetris is you may have gotten a bad bag at the beginning. A bag refers to each 7 pieces. But that doesn't mean it's over. The game's not over till the fat lady sings. So even though I have a mess on the bottom, that doesn't actually prevent me from executing the T-spin double here. As you see, it's still working just fine. Now, I may have to be a little bit creative when it comes to figuring out how I'm going to clean up the stack down there. I may have to get very, very creative indeed. But nonetheless, I'm certainly going to try. I'm not just giving up too easily. But I'm taking my time. I'm not going at top speed. Obviously, I can play really fast because I have this pattern memorized. But, this can get creative. For example, let's try this. Clear a single line. I lowered the stack by 1 line. It's a little bit awkward, but it still works. That's kind of funny, actually. Oh, man. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, that was actually quite funny. It's still working for me. It's still totally working. I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't even know what the outcome of this mess is going to be. I really don't. Okay. I'm going to do blue. And then I'm going to do orange. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to... Oh, that did not work well. Okay. I did blue, I did orange, I did green. Okay, let's do yellow. Then let's do red. Now, I still have a mess on the bottom, but that doesn't mean that I can't continue doing more T-spin doubles. In case you can't tell, this mechanical T-spin double is just basically undefeatable. Now, here I have this purple piece before I'm ready to do anything with it. Yeah, I'm not really actually ready to do anything with that yet. So that's a bit weird. And it may not actually be very possible to clean up the stack. But like I said before, the point of the mechanical T-spin double is to score really high in a short amount of time with like blitz or something like that. Or to just KO your opponent extremely fast. So check that out. You see that? I just did 40-line sprint. Although it took me, okay, it did take me over 4 minutes to do sprint, but I wasn't going at top speed. I wasn't going at top speed by any means. So, but it works, okay? So let's try something. I don't want this video to get too long, but I want to, before I end this video, I want to record myself playing Ultra Mode. Ultra Mode is where you try to get the maximum score that you can within 3 minutes. And I'm going to try to get a new high score. Let's see if I can do it or not. Okay, now this I like. I like this. Okay, so here we're going to do this. Actually, no. That is not the setup I was hoping for. Nope, because both the purple and the green came before the yellow. So here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to do it like this. Okay, now that we've got the yellow, we can set this up, and I am playing Ultra Mode, so I'm going to try to speed this up. So yeah, here we go. I'm getting the mech TSD started here, and I have to somewhat consider speed. And there's actually a reason I put the yellow and orange blocks over there. There's actually a very solid, sensible reason why I do that. The point is, it's actually easier by doing that. It just really helps because otherwise I have an extra yellow and orange on the right, and it makes it difficult to get the green ones down there. I just like this method. Now, keep in mind that some mechanical T-spin doubles have the eyepieces stacked on the right side of the screen like this, and then the other most common method shown in the wiki has it stacked on the left side. Or no, actually, I'm not even sure which one the wiki shows, but there are two ways to do, there's two sides you can do that on. You get the same effect, the effect exactly the same, don't worry about it. It all depends on what opening you have to use, it's just the way the board falls. So as you can see with this method, one of the reasons I like this method is that I can do T-spin doubles for quite some time. And then another thing that's important to realize is, see that? I can also pull off a Tetris. Because the stack is just really clean in the middle, and there's no gaps on the sides like that other method, it's possible to just, totally you use some of those eye blocks when you have extras, and you can just start stacking Tetris, Tetrises in the center. So as you see, every single line clear has been either T-spin single, T-spin double, or it's been a Tetris. So it's just extremely efficient. It's just extraordinarily efficient. And see, this method is just relaxing. Like this, because it's so brain dead, it doesn't even take much of a thought process to do this. But check this out. Did you see that? The stack is getting extremely high. Like, this is insane. Oh, I can't. Oh, oops. I can't get it down here. Okay, so what? I messed up. Okay, big deal. It's not a big deal. It's really not. I still cleared 40 lines. I did not quite make a new high score, but it would take a few retries. But I messed up on that one. Plus, I was explaining, so I didn't have my full attention on it. But as you see from my previous high score, I had over 50,000 points. But anyway, I'm going to close out Puyo Puyo Tetris, and I'm going to end this video. But I very, very much hope that my explanation of the mechanical T-spin double method is helpful to someone. Now, there is a little bit of a preview I would like to show, though. Before I officially end this video, I want to show you, I have been working on a new project. So, SDL Chaste Tris 2. Now, this is a remake of my Tetris game that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And I'm just going to right-click, open in terminal, and type make. And check this out. I updated the title screen and everything, but check this out. You see this? Do you see that craziness? Do you see? Now, this is an example of using a move log. It's actually really kind of funny that this can even be done. But yeah, but that's an example. But yeah, that was a replay of playing. But look at the rainbow text. You see that? There are a few, besides the updated tile screen in this new version, I have rainbow text for the title of the game to go with rainbow colored Tetris blocks. And then I also I updated the time to include the hours, because it's rare to play for an hour, but I was doing a video with the original version of my game, and then I noticed that it just went to 60 minutes and kept counting the minutes, and it never went to an hour. So this is a newer version. Now, this version here, this version of Chaste Tris is different. Why is this one different? Why did I rewrite the whole thing in SDL? Well, actually, this isn't even the first SDL version. Let me show you something. I'm going to delete that move log file. Let me show you the first version of SDL Chaste Tris, because the original was written in Raylib. But here's my original version. This one is, oh, not maker. Okay, make. Okay, this was one that was, I made this one after the one that's on Steam. It's written in SDL. And it doesn't have any extra fancy stuff, really. It's still very much like the original Raylib. It doesn't have the fancy. It's meant to be very simple. This one is just meant to be very simple. Now, but why SDL? Why is SDL special here? Well, SDL is really cool. But I'm just going to run the executable. It's already compiled. Look at this. You see how fast that loaded? Like, it's really cool. So, it just loads like lightning fast. I love that. I love how fast that loads. But that one was done with surfaces. This one was only done with surfaces. So, for example, if I type the word surface, you're going to see that it uses a global surface, and it fills the rectangles for various things. So there's all kind. It does a bunch of surface. Now it still works. It's still very fast, but it's using the old legacy surface method, whereas the new version, SDL Chaste Tris 2 that I showed you, this one is special because it actually uses the renderer. Now the performance is the same because the game is slowed down. The game is dramatically slowed down. Otherwise, it'd be too fast. So I'm going to show you an example of how powerful this game is. So that's what it is. So first of all, look, it loads up in like less than a second, and that's with loading the font, mind you. Yeah. So this one, it's basically the same, but the code's different. First of all, it has a new function called a new file called Chaste the Rainbow for my rainbow text. I've added a lot of code to this new version, this sort of sequel to Chaste Tris, if you will. Now this one, if I go to the SDL graphics, so we're gonna do to draw. Okay, let's see, rect. Okay, I want to. Okay, so it still sets up. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. This here is the code. It gets the color of the current block that is being displayed, and then it sets the render draw color, the current SDL render. It sets the color based on the red, green, and blue values. It still sets up the rectangle with the exact dimensions, just as the other version did. But then it does SDL render fill instead of SDL fill rect. It's different. Instead of using a surface, it uses a renderer, and so it actually is using like it uses OpenGL or the Windows API behind the scenes. So it's faster. It's much faster. Not that it matters, but I'm going to show you something because I thought I was going to end this video, but I want to show you something very special. Okay. So first of all, I want to show you. I made a script. I made a Lua script. So check this out. I made a Lua script. See this? This looks like gibberish. This looks like total gibberish, okay? It looks insane. I know it looks insane. But I'm going to show you what it does. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, okay, Lua logmaker.lua. And I'm going to run the script. Oh, I ran the script. What happened? Nothing happened. It doesn't appear that anything happened. But wait a minute. Let's look at the script. It opens iMoveLog.txt. And it writes binary. And it writes all this data. What does it do? Well, look at the iMoveLog.txt. This is the move log, my friends. This is the move log. So now, if I run the game again, okay, yes, /main. Actually, I want to show you. If I type main, it doesn't work because it's not like Windows. You just type the name of the executable, and /main doesn't work either because that's something different. But current directory is the /main. Now here's the title screen. Now as soon as I press enter, Check this out, my friends. Check this out. You see this? This is a special move log. It took me a long time to make this move log. I had to play the game and do a certain very special thing in order to get it working this way. But as you see, it actually worked. And so what it does is it does several different T-spin doubles, it does some Tetrises, and then it does some others as well. So it's not perfect back to back, but what it does is this goes infinitely. Basically infinitely. Technically it has limit is 2.4 megabytes of data, but this just keeps going and going. Like I swear, this just goes on. It'll probably go for like 5, 6 hours if I just let it run. It would run until my computer's power went out or the move log ended. But that's over 2 million bytes, so that would take a long time. And look at the moves. We're only at 4,000 bytes. So millions. You probably take 24 hours to finish. But the point is, I made a Tetris game so special it plays itself. Now that's impressive. But like I told you before, the game is slowed down. The game is actually slowed down. Well, what happens if it's not slowed down? What happens? I'll show you. I'll show you what happens if I change the code. Now, what you'll notice, I'm going to go back to sdlgraphics.h. So here, there's something very important. So it draws all the rectangles for every single square on the grid. It calls the function for drawing the stats. This is the function that gets the input from the file. So that's what it does. There's an input function. In fact, I'm going to show you the input function. This here, it controls all of the key presses while playing the game, and then it calls various functions. So it's all SDL code. It all handles different keys. It's hard-coded, though. The keys are hard-coded what does what. They're based on my preferences. The source code is available, by the way. It's available on GitHub, and if anybody buys the Steam version, the raylib source code, which is incredibly easy to manage, is cool. So anyway, some of this doesn't make sense, but this right here, this is the function which reads from the input file. That's what it does. But technically, it's very strange because yeah, it reads from the input file 1 byte at a time, and then it acts accordingly based on what the key was. So it's all plain text characters. But note there. Here's what's important. Look at this. You see this? While SDL time is less than SDL time 1. So here's the thing. So I want to show you something. The timing function. So look at this. Now here is we get the time before. Okay, yeah, SDL time. Each loop, each game loop, each frame basically. It gets the current time at the beginning of this frame. And then it does gets another time basically, which is the current time of that one plus the delay. Well, where's the delay specified? Well, I'll show you where the delay is specified. This is some advanced stuff. This is some serious Tetris programming here, okay? So where's the delay? Well, let's see. The delay here. I don't know if I put it here. Okay, the delay variable is declared here, but it's not set yet. So let's go back. Where's the delay? Delay is 1,000 times frames per second. Well, frames per second is defined here. Currently, frames per second is 60. Well, what if we change frames per second to 30 instead? Let's try changing that. We're going to run this again. It's still, I think it's still very fast. Oh, that's right. I haven't recompiled. I have to recompile for the changes to take effect. You see how much slower it is? It's a lot slower at 30 frames per second. Well, let's change it to 10 frames per second. A lot slower. You see how much slower it is? It's a lot slower. I can control the frames per second with perfect precision. It's not hard to do. You just change the frames per second variable. This is important for anybody who buys my game and wants to mess with the source code. Okay, but what if, okay, let's change it. Let's change it back to 60. We'll do that. It's back to its original speed. But what if we make it faster than 60 frames per second? Instead of modifying the frames per second, here's what we're going to do. Let's comment out. See, this, it basically, it introduces a number of milliseconds delay. But here, right here, it keeps getting the time and in the first STL time variable. And then while it's less than the time with the delay, it does that. But what happens if I comment out this code? Okay, by commenting out this code, the game is not going to do any delays at all. It's not going to delay. It's going to be blindingly fast. Are you ready for this? It's going to be crazy. Oh, yeah. Now, is that powerful or what? It's fast, isn't it? It's just incredibly fast. It's too fast for anyone to see. So, as you see, it's not exactly, yeah, it's not exactly good for people trying to watch and understand what's happening. But when I told you that this game is fast, I wasn't kidding. This is extraordinarily fast. It's so fast the eyes can't see it. It's running at unlimited frames per second, basically. I don't know what the exact number is, but if you look at it, not even a minute has passed, but we're already at 1,000 lines. Like, is that crazy or what? And look at the rainbow text. It's going so fast that it doesn't even look the same at all. But anyway, I believe that's enough show off for now. And what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to fix this. I'm going to undo what I did there. And I'm just going to recompile. And that's the way it's meant to be. That's the speed that I believe is easy to handle. So anyway, I believe this video was a success because I showed off my own game. I showed the code of how it works. I also showed you a practical method of doing mechanical T-spin doubles that works in any Tetris game, any guideline Tetris game by the official Tetris company, not just my own Tetris game that I made. So hopefully this whole video was a success. I hope there's no errors in it, but I'll probably upload it anyway so that people can enjoy the good parts. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy using mechanical T-spins in your own Tetris playing.